What's up guys, before I start this video, I just want to let you know that I'm running a competition right now. There's $1,000 cash up for grabs, there's a whole bunch of other stuff up for grabs. It's called the Shopify Starter Pack. It's going to be drawn next month on the 15th. So if you haven't heard about that, a link is in the description, but jump on there after the this video. There's no rush, it's not going anywhere. But yeah, if you are new to this, you need some money to start doing Shopify. There's all sorts of stuff in their trial. There's some tools, there's some softwares, there's some money you can win and stuff like that. So just want to get that out of the way. I haven't really put that on YouTube yet. It's been in my Facebook group for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, if you're interested in winning some stuff, just go and check that out. Now, today we're going to be talking about Facebook and how to kind of analyze things when they're stressing you out. So what we're going to do first is just do a little bit of a drawing here. So if you've been doing Facebook for a while, you notice that you have really good days, then you might make a change and have a bad day, then you might have a flat line, you might have a good day again, and then you might have a bad day, you might have a really bad day, and you might have a semi-alright day, really bad day, and then a good day. And sometimes you feel that your Facebook ads are all over the place. You know, like just crazy. Like it's not consistent. It's not consistent as you increase your budgets. So what I'm going to do right now is I have a test account that I've recently just started because one of my other ones got banned. And I've been doing some lead generation stuff. So this is for leads, but you can also do this for your Shopify stuff as well. But this video will be based around leads, and we'll jump into one of my campaigns. So what I'm going to do is we'll jump in right now, just clear this up. And this was actually posted in my my Shopify training. If you don't know about that, I'll leave a link below too, but it's actually closed if you want to get on the waiting list. But I've thought that this is pretty important and I should really put this on YouTube because it's going to help a lot of you guys out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to today and look at my ads. And I've got, in this one here, I've got a really expensive, some really expensive leads going on. And then if we look at yesterday, yesterday was a little bit cheaper, same on the second one. Then if we go to the day before, it was really cheap on the second one and it was kind of cheap on that one. But if we actually dive into this one here, you'll notice that it was really cheap on the 20th. Then on the 21st, it was cheap again. And then today, it's really expensive. It's tripled in price. So I'm going to show you how to kind of dive into that and see what's going on. Because this is happening to a lot of people. And you have to make informed decisions to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What you want to do, guys, is go to your ad sets, okay? And then in delivery, if you have, sorry, I just need to click on a campaign here. If you have, if you're getting over 500 impressions a week, you can look at these stats. Okay, you need to have over 500 impressions per week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my daily insights, guys. Sorry, my delivery insights. And I'm going to go over exactly what this is to try and help you understand what you should do with your adverts if they're performing badly and stuff. So first of all, you'll notice in this graph, actually we'll do the graph second. You'll notice down here there's some stuff going on. So it tells you what's been happening from day one. I think this is actually within, for the week. So this week, like when I started this advert, my stats were a little bit different. So we have impressions, and on the right you'll see here it says first time impression ratio. That means the percentage of people that have seen this advert for the first time. So when I first started this ad, it was like 90%. 95, 96, 98 for the first day. Then the next day I was like 90, and then the next day I was like 80. Because when it's a fresh advert, Facebook puts it in front of new faces. So basically, the lower this is, the worse it is for you. Because it means that your frequencies are getting higher. It means that your advert is getting shown to less new people. But that's why you can kind of go daily. So in the last week, So yesterday was quite bad. Didn't really affect my... I'm going to show you what actually affected this ad set in a minute. It wasn't actually the first time impression ratio or anything like that. But it's going through to show you kind of what all this is. And then you've got... so this is the first impression ratio. Then you've got reach. So that's your reach there, is the orange bar. And we'll talk about that in a second. But then we've got another thing, guys, called audience ratio. This is basically how much percent Facebook has... how much percent you've dived into your audience so far, your potential audience. So basically, let's say if it's up at like 100%, for example, then you've basically shown your ad to your entire audience. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, these are kind of pretty basic stuff, but what I want to kind of show you up here is, so you can do your first time impressions here. You'll see first time impressions. There hasn't really been much of a dip. So I might try to find one in a second, but I had another ad where my first time impressions was really low, and so were my leads. They're really, really low. So what that tells me is on that particular day, what affected my leads dropping was probably, I don't know if it is 100% sure, was probably the first time impression ratio. Okay, but I'll show you exactly what affected this ad. Actually, first, yeah, so I'm going to, so you can get all these ratios up here and stuff like that, but this graph is not really up and down. It's pretty consistent. But if we go to activity history, guys, this is really important stuff. Okay, really, really important stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the history of the changes to my ad set. So you'll see on this day here, I changed my budget from $25 to $30, and I got more leads. Oh, sorry, my price went up. We'll try and get, we'll go cost per lead here, actually. Here we go. Oh, actually, lead results. Yep, this is good. So on this day here, I put my price up from 25 to 30. And kind of like, I did it at what time? I did it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. Yep. And the next day, or the end of that day, I suppose, was quite bad. My leads dropped a lot. Okay, I had a really bad day. I went from 13 to 5. And then I went back up to 14. Then I actually changed the budget again. I went 30 to 35. I probably should have left it a little bit because on the 19th, I dropped down, well, actually not too much. I dropped down a couple of leads. Doesn't really matter. But this is what's happening here, guys. Okay, this is very important. Watch this. Today, yesterday, if I can get this up real quick. Okay, you can't see that. I can't remember if you can go over. Maybe we'll do it on cost per lead. Okay, anyway, guys, yesterday I changed my price again from, what was it? It was 35 to 40, I think. So we went here to 35. Yeah, I went 35 to 40, and what that's done now is it's affected the ad crazy. Like, it's affected it really, really badly. So that's why now I'm probably going to have to wait another day for it to come back. It usually always comes back, guys. Okay, so that's just one example. We'll dive into another ad set in a second. But this ad set here, all the dips is being controlled by the price increases. So I do a price increase as a dip. I do a price increase as a dip. I do a price increase as a dip. Now, leads should be going up here, right? We should be getting more leads for a cheaper cost because we're putting the budget up, right? We should be, but now what I'm getting now is I'm actually getting, so this is actually what's affecting me today as well. We'll talk about that in a second. I should be getting more leads at a cheaper cost, but I kind of have to let it settle a bit, I think. I'm not 100% sure why it's doing that. Maybe I'll look into it a bit more. But this is, so the price has affected it a bit. And here's another thing, guys, that I forgot about that's affecting me today, is audience overlap. This is actually overlapping my lookalike audience by 41% today. 41% and 16% different ad sets. I won't get that up because I think I've got a bit of information in there. But that's why, actually, let's get it up. See if we can get it up. Yes, here's one of my lookalike audiences here. Today it's very expensive. It's $1, $1.98 per lead. That's actually very expensive. A couple of days ago, I was getting around about $1.30. So what's happening right now is these two ad sets right here are overlapping each other. Now, will this continue? Probably not. It'll probably last today and then tomorrow it'll be back to normal. That's usually what's happened. I don't think it's happened here this week yet. But that, I forgot about this, but that's what, so the audience overlap and my price increase yesterday has affected this ad set a lot. Okay, so that's kind of, you need to dive, guys, you need to dive down into the data and check out what's going on, because if you don't know what's going on. You just think you're not getting sales, you think that something's wrong with your ad. You need to actually jump in here and see what's wrong with your ad sets, guys. Because if you don't, you could be like missing out on money, because even though I have audience overlap today and I've just increased my budget, there's nothing saying that my ad's going to perform badly tomorrow. Tomorrow I might have a really, really good ad. I might not have any audience overlap. That's just how Facebook goes sometimes. And to kind of combat the price stuff, I'm probably just going to throw a large budget at it and just let it ride. And then once it's stabilized, it'll just go, 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 go. All right, guys, that's one of the ad sets. Let's have a look at another one real quick so you can get an idea of kind of what to look for. This is another one for the week. This is a really bad ad today, guys, this one. I think this might have some audience overlap as well. So we're going to go to... So first of all, this looks okay, pretty normal. So you'll see on the 16th and the 17th and the 18th and the 19th, I had really good first-time impressions, a high percentage. I think on those days, let's have a look, 18, 17, 16, 15. So we'll do 18... 18 was $2.34, which is really good. I think 17 was another one, was it? 17 was a little bit higher. Let's try go down to 19. 19 was $1.85, guys. So that lines up with exactly what's going on in here. So 18 and 19 were really good days for me. And it's because I had quite a high first impression ratio and everything was all good. So let's have a look at our leads here. See, we had a peak and then we had a dive. So let's kind of see what's caused that problem. I did a price change on this day, a couple of days before my peak, and then it dropped. And it's dropped again. This might have had an impact, guys, but I don't know 100%. This could have had an impact. And then we have audience overlap though, and we have absolutely no audience overlap whatsoever within this week. So what that indicates to me is basically this price change here has possibly caused this downfall. So, but that was nearly 4 days ago now. So to me, that's not really the reason why that's dropped. My audience saturation has dropped a little bit, so we're now at 63. Yeah, so this is audience saturation. I'm now at 63, and that's actually my lowest point of 57. So let's have a look at the 15th real quick, and we'll see what was going on there. The 15th, because that was a really low one. On the 15th, we had a good day as well, though, so that probably didn't affect it at all. So we'll go back in here and have a look. So today it could be just things like it could be first time impressions, and it could also be this here this price change, but I don't really know. This ad's new, hasn't really settled in too much. It's not even a week old. It's just over a week old, so probably hasn't even started really optimizing properly yet. So yeah, that's it, guys. Like, this is kind of what I want to show you, that you should be diving into your ads to see more data, because if you're not, I guarantee you're going to be losing money. See, my cost has gone up heavily here, so I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what's going on, and that's what I'm going to do after this video. And I don't have any audience lap, so I'm good there. I think I'm pretty good. I just need to sort out what's going on. And to be honest, I think it's probably probably my ads, because with this one I haven't actually done any split testing with ads, so it's probably what I'm going to start doing now. I just went in with this one, you know, balls out, one ad set, one advert. Didn't really optimize anything on the advert, just that was it. So that's probably why prices are starting to go up, and the price change could have something to do with it, with price going up for now. So what I need to do is go in and probably start messing with ad copy. But that's it, guys. I just wanted to quickly show you this. Just remember a few things here. We have audience saturation, okay? This is very important. What this is going to do, this is going to go through and tell you how many impressions you've had. It's going to tell you how many people have viewed your ad for the first time, or your advert set for the first time. We have reach. Then we have audience reach ratio, how much of your audience has been seen your ad so far. I think that's what it means, something like that. The potential of your, the percentage of your potential audience you've received, you've reached so far. Then, guys, we have the next important thing, and that is activity history. So basically, if you come into here and you're like, hey, my price has gone up, my leads or add to carts or purchases have gone down, but I did a change here, or I did a change here, you need to figure out, well, you don't need to figure things out. You just need to look in there and go, hey, maybe this price increase causes the problem. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Maybe I should let it run a little bit longer. I can't tell you what to do with your ad sets. It's up to you. That's your decision. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and start to mess with ad copy. I'm going to start to do stuff like that. Because what I want to do, guys, is I want to get this, my goal here is to get these ad sets at a pretty good level, like maybe $100 a day probably. I'm just going to let them run at $100 a day and try and get leads at between $1 and $2. And then I'm going to duplicate into different, like this is just, I think this is just mobile. I haven't even touched desktop yet. Then once this one's running smooth, I'm going to jump to the desktop. Okay, so this is activity history, very, very important. Next we have audience overlap, guys. Another very, very important key metric in your Facebook advertising journey. Basically, if you're having a really bad day, like example with my other one, if you're having a really bad day and you have a lot of audience overlap, don't worry about it, because it usually will only just happen for that day, and then the next few days or next week it probably won't happen. That's what's been happening with a lot of my ad sets, especially with lookalike audiences. It's very common with lookalike audiences. So your main ad set from, you know, that you built out lookalike audiences from, or your ads and stuff, will overlap with your lookalike audience on some days. It's okay, because as long as you come in here and it's not consistent like every single day, then you're good. If it's every single day, then you've got a problem, and you should probably look at building another lookalike audience maybe. I don't really know. You would have to make that decision yourself. All right, guys, so so that's it. This is the daily history here. This here is your 3 tabs. You can go through here and do some graphs as well. Okay, and just like, guys, you need to make the decisions yourself. You need to look at this data and think, should I do this, should I do that? People like me can't tell you how to do, what decisions to make, because we don't know anything about your ads or whatever you're doing. But just jump in here and look for obvious signs that have created your caused your ad to drop in performance, and then just reevaluate the situation. If it's price, let it run for a little bit longer. If you have one day of audience overlap, let it run for a little bit longer. If you have consistent days of audience overlap, you're going to have to make a change. Okay, if you've done a price change and you're on day 4 or 5 and your advert hasn't come back, then let's do things like start to change and optimize your advert copy. Okay, because you're trying to get people to your products and stuff. If your advert copy isn't getting them clicked onto your page, then of course your cost is going to start to go up, because you're still paying for impressions and stuff. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Jump down below for the competition and some other goodies down in there. And make sure you join onlinesamurais.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video.